Who wants to start?
Oh, it's good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay,
We can go.
Hi, guys. It's Dustin.
Hey guys, it's Amanda.
All right, so this is exciting.
This is very exciting.
This is our first guest. No pressure.
She looks so uncomfortable. She doesn't want to be here at all.
Get me out.
All right. Celina.
Celina.
Hello.
Gomez. Not Gomez.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you, Celina?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. A little nervous. It's okay. It'll pass by.
Yeah, just don't even think about the mics. It's just like we're all just chatting away.
You got your water bottle, your toilet paper. You're ready to go.
Yeah.
No pressure. We were just talking about where you're working to kind of get things going. And so you might...
I think we should introduce her as, so she worked with Justin at the restaurant.
Yeah.
That's
so
how...
we all know each other
Yeah.
essentially now. So where did you work? You worked with Justin, and what title did you have?
I worked with Justin at the restaurant. I was a hostess.
Yeah.
Before that, I had 3 other customer service jobs. I worked at a call center that went bankrupt. I worked
Man.
Shit.
I worked at H&M for 5 years. So, yeah, I guess I could say the names of the places I worked since
Yeah,
I
in
no
the
longer
past.
work
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
I don't care. And then I worked my first job. Justin also had this job at Marble Slab
Marble
when I was
Slab.
like 14.
What?
Yeah. That's
a good
funny. I was
place.
also like 15, I think.
Yeah.
That was like my first job.
That place is heaven. Like, I went there once in Red Deer. I was like, oh, my God.
Nice.
Ice cream.
It's so good.
It's so delicious.
The first time I ever went there, actually, I was like, this is like where rich people go to get ice cream because it's so expensive and so good.
Yeah, the first time you go, you're just like, damn, I feel like rich right now.
Yeah.
Call service. That's
Fancy.
cool.
Yeah, call center. I used to work at the Vancouver Crisis Center. So I kind of get what that whole idea is about. But yeah, how is that like in terms of customers and
I worked
stuff?
for a shoes one.
Oh, okay.
Really shitty customers because the ones who would call would just like complain or like
Nitpick.
ask like how to return, like really easy. So it was either very easy or like a little bit they were annoyed.
Yeah.
But, like whatever. You can roll your eyes and stuff. At least like when you work like at a counter job, you can't be like.
Yeah, you can mock them while they're talking to you
Yeah,
with like gaping mouths, like
Yeah, which totally helps.
It does. It really does.
It does. You can't do that in person.
You have. Could you imagine if you were allowed to do that just like once? They come into the till. Can I get a coffee? Can I get a coffee?
Can you imagine? Fuck.
We actually
Please do that.
Yes, I will. I'll let you. Actually, Amanda, I don't work there anymore. That's sad. If you do that, I'll pay you. I'll pay you $10.
Oh,
Seriously, right out the. I'll give you cash.
I'm in hot water right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really can't do too much. I'm being watched.
You're being watched.
Yeah.
Hey?
Oh, because you're a shift supervisor?
Well, yeah, that, and also there was a complaint about me recently.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it was very over exaggerated and stuff, but nonetheless, she complained, so that's what I have to.
What did you do?
Yeah. You can be like brief.
I told you guys the story. It was the story of the girl who came in with the mobile order.
Yeah.
And she was looking at me like I was
Oh,
crazy
shit.
because I was like, when you come in and, we yell out the drink when we first make it. If you're not here, we put it down. And it's your responsibility to come and get the drink. She didn't come and get the drink. 50 minutes later, she comes to me. I told you guys the story.
You
and
did.
she's like, is this the address of your store? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, I ordered a coffee like 15 minutes ago, and I've just been waiting. And I'm like, oh, well, did you check in with us? Did you ask someone? And she's looking at me like I'm nuts. And I'm like, well, you don't just walk in and we're like, oh, that must be the girl who had the online order. Like, there's the mobile order girl. Like, are you kidding me? Like, we don't know.
For context, it's basically like you have your phone and it's the app. and
It's
you
a
probably
mobile
know this.
app.
Yeah.
It's a mobile app.
Yeah.
You type it in, you get your order, and then you know that they're making the drink.
But-
if it doesn't happen in time, they usually come up and they're like, "Hey, is this here?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's sometimes it just didn't get printed out. So
What
that's
like a
how we
normal
know.
person would do.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
and she just looked shocked. Like, how dare you expect me to ask for my drink? And I'm thinking, like,
Yeah.
Anyway, but you know what I learned after the fact is that most stores that we work at, most locations, they have an area where they put the mobile orders and the customer can actually grab their drink. We don't have that at our store.
No.
So I guess she was used to that from other stores, although she did tell me this was her first time using the mobile app. But in the complaint, she said it was her first, or it wasn't her first time.
Yeah, so that's what I
she
find,
had
they
holes in
lie.
her. Oh yeah, she was. Oh my God, she was saying that I was yelling at her, and
Oh my
God,
God.
it was so ridiculous.
Actually, can I share my story? Because it's the
Please.
same thing happened with the mobile order. And so this old lady comes in with her daughter, and she said, "Hi, can you make this that's on the phone here and I looked at it, and it was like this heavy duty order. I was like, cool. And so she didn't tell me the size, so I made a default grande. That's what you usually do, right? And she didn't ask for a size, so I was like, okay, it's grande. So I make it, and she was like, oh, I wanted a venti. I was like, oh, okay, just next time let me know, and then I'll get you a venti. And then she's like, it's on the mobile order. And I said, you showed me the app because you wanted to tell me what the ingredients were. When people show me that, that's what it's for. It's not about the size.
Yeah.
You have to tell me what the size is. You can't just hope that I'm going to understand everything that you're showing me. Like, that doesn't work like that. And so then she started, now she was older, and she was being more polite / condescending, like, at the same time. And so I kept going back and forth with her, and eventually her daughter came. That was the issue. She got enraged. She was like, you have no right to talk to her like this. You're the barista, you're the server. And I'm like, I'm sorry if I offended you.
Jesus.
I'm sorry I offended you, but I'm going to make a venti like I promised her. So let me do my job. And so I did it.
You showed her.
And so the letter was a whole bunch of lies. Like, she said that.
Oh, she wrote a complaint too.
Yeah, she said that he refused to make her a venti. He was being rude and ignorant, even though I had an entire.
Of course, they're going to.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, exaggerate, because otherwise they look like a fool.
Exactly.
And because they are a fool. But they're like, well, if I'm going to write it, I'm going to write, Anyway, long story short, that happened. Got sat down by my manager, and she was basically like, Thelma was there and told me that's not what happened, but, we still have to treat these complaints seriously. So I've been on my best behavior since then, and, so.
It's funny, though, because I think it's better to have a manager that's on your side. If you're a manager, you're able to pick from right to wrong, and yes, the customer needs to be addressed, but I've always felt like that person, our manager's always been not on my side, and it doesn't feel like she's on your side.
I have mixed feelings about her. I really like her, because you obviously have been gone now for a while, and there different dynamics have started, and she's sort of showing different parts of herself, and actually I quite like her, but
that's good.
But sometimes I'm like, and I gave her some feedback. So she's been better since I gave her feedback, but she's so quick to give everybody feedback. So I thought, people think you have favorites. So what are you gonna do about that?
So
anyway, but we have a guest, so let's try to focus on her a little bit more.
Well, that's the good part too, because I mean, when you're on the call, I can only imagine how many fucking customer complaints you get.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because the next guest that we're having in the next couple of weeks, one of them also does customer care, and she has ridiculous stories. We were at a dinner party, and she's going to be sharing that with us.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, ridiculous. But what have you experienced? Like, what's kind of like the memorable ones? Are they all just kind of generic, or?
Oh man, I really don't think about this anymore.
Yeah.
How long did you work at the call center?
I worked at the call center for 9 months, and then after that, the restaurant. I guess I still technically work there I've worked there for a year now. And then I started like my full-time job in October. So yeah, I haven't worked in customer service in a while. Outrageous stories.
What's the deal with that? Like, they're like once a week, that's okay, twice a week?
It's a bit unusual.
Once every 3 months.
Really? Wow.
Like an on-call kind of thing, maybe.
Kind of, yeah.
How long has it been since you've regularly, I can't remember, since you regularly worked there?
I think it's was like September, maybe. September, October.
And it's March now.
Yeah.
So that's a fucking long time.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, that's insane that
that's like almost 6 months.
Yeah, that's insane that they'll be like, all right, come on back. We need you. Like, that's pretty lucky to have that sort of environment, because I can imagine Justin talks about it all the time, the place where he works.
Yeah,
so
I hate my job and everybody knows about it already, so it's okay.
If he could have that luxury, I think he probably would take that up.
Yeah. It's a nice backup, I think.
I do. I have 6 or 7 years of customer service, and I have so many things, but I just can't. I'm going to think of all of them after this.
And you'll be like, oh, I should have thought of that. No, that usually happens. I mean, I also get like that too. Like, sometimes I'm like, all right, this in my mind, and then I'm in the moment, I'm like, oh, fuck, it's all gone.
No, I should have done some brainstorming before this, but
that's okay. We can just
come on,
kinda...
Celina.
Yeah,
you're
that's all right. Amanda loves writing on stuff. She's like, okay, I'm going to write all these notes down. You kind of stopped doing that lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't find you need to do it anymore, hey?
Yeah, sometimes.
I still haven't done it yet. Like, I think I should write notes down, but I'm just like, I'm like winging it.
Well, we can kind of just wing it, and we can all just kind of pitch in whenever we feel. Like, I have a bit of a story. If I can.
Sure.
I thought of one. Okay, that was okay. So I worked at H&M for 5 years. If you've ever been to the one in downtown Vancouver, it sucks. It's always crowded, like shit's everywhere. It's just like a mess. Yeah. And I was like really nice because I only worked there part-time. Like I worked there throughout university and high school even and stuff. So like I'm patient, whatever.
Are you from Vancouver?
I'm from Vancouver.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Are you guys? No, you're not.
Alberta, and then Amanda's been here. She's lived here her whole life pretty much. Oh, okay. You've traveled a lot, but she's been...
Yeah, I'm from here. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, cool. So I'm very familiar with that H&M, and the people just look so miserable working there because it's like a big clothing shit show. Yeah.
The one in the mall, right? The Pacific Center.
Yeah. Okay, go on.
But yeah, so I've always been like really nice. Whenever people are rude to me, like I was always just nice to them back. But I'm not really like I'm a nice person, but like I like to talk a lot of shit and like I'm
so does everybody else.
Yeah, I'm kind of like bitter, but like I mean whatever, it doesn't matter. But I had a breaking point when this like fucking bitch.
Let it out.
This nice lady with like a little stupid bitch Pomeranian dog. Like she wasn't.
They can bring them into H&M.
Oh yeah, as long as they carry them.
Oh god.
But this lady with a dog.
Amanda's thrilled. She loves dogs.
Yeah, I always pet them when they came in.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really a big fan of those little rat dogs, but I'll take what I can get.
She had like a Pomeranian, and I don't know where she was from. I think she was Middle Eastern or something, and so English wasn't her first language. And she was a big, scary lady, like at least like 6 feet, and she was carrying this Pomeranian.
Gross. Who said that?
Tall. That's scary.
Who said that?
No
Justin.
Sorry, guys.
But she brought an item without a tag, and so usually when stuff like they don't have tags on them, you have to like go to the tag inside the garment and like find a number, and it takes a long time. It's like fine, it's kind of annoying, but like whatever, like people usually understand. And she's like, can you hurry up? And I'm like, that's when I had my breaking point. I'm like, actually no, I'm not gonna hurry up, I'm doing my job and you can't talk to me like that. And that was kind of like the start in my customer service career where I like did not take people's shit anymore. Like
how did that turn out?
Oh, it was so much fun. She just like, we had like a stare down, and like she didn't like push it any further. Like she wasn't being, because when like people are like do you wrong and then like you kind of talk back to them and they get it, they're like, oh, I'm sorry. She wasn't like that. She was just like, she kept being mean, but it was fine. It was just like a really like cool standoff, and then I was like, that's awesome. Oh yeah, I won this. Right. I don't think I did win, but like in my mind.
Well, you stood up for yourself.
Yeah, and then so ever since then I always stand up to myself now. It's so much fun. Yeah, I love it. I love being mean to people. Like sometimes I wish people would be mean to me just so I can like kind of be mean, because like it really
That's why I hate my job right now, because everyone's nice and I can't like be bitching to anybody, and we don't get any customers. It's just all employees.
Yeah, same.
I can imagine her like with that fucking dog in her purse being like, I want to talk to the manager.
Oh, she didn't say that, but usually they do. Yes.
And she didn't say that.
She didn't say that. No, wow. No, I don't think she cared that much. But
that's surprising.
Usually, like I'd like to talk to a man. Yeah. No, she didn't do that.
How long have you been working here? Are you new? I hate it when they say that. If I'm working, then the guy will or the lady will go over to the other person, knowing I'm hearing them, and they'll say, "Is that person new? It must be new, right?" And then they'll be like, "No, he's worked here for 2 years," and then they'll walk away. It's like, go fuck yourself. I hate
so
that.
insulting.
That's
I know
weird,
it's happened to me so many times.
It's not even like insulting. It's like he put the energy to look at me, go over to another barista, and then say,
wow,
is it too? He's
passive
new, right?
aggressive at its finest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know all about that too.
Well, I have a quick short story.
Yeah.
This is what I was telling you guys about. Remember I texted you one night and I was like, oh my God, I have a story. And you were like, tell me. And I was like, no, I'm going to wait till the podcast.
I forgot about that.
So this is a cool story because we've never really talked about this aspect of customer service. So you know how when you're obviously the worker and you're dealing with people and you can't just say whatever you want to say. You can't just speak your mind. Well, in this particular instance, I was a customer in a grocery store in a line. And the woman in front of me was being so rude to the cashier. So of course I'm going to say something. Oh. And I just basically took all of my frustration from just everything, and I fucking let this woman have it. But she deserved it. She was such a cunt. Oh my God.
Tell us everything, please.
So this was a while ago now, like a month ago, not even. You know what though? I have to be honest before I tell the story. I walked out of that store not feeling good about myself.
Was that bad?
I felt like that was a very low moment for me. I swear to God, I was not proud of myself, you guys. I mean, I feel like it just got too far. You know what I mean? It went too far because she was.
You have to admit it.
I feel like I met my match. She was like this miserable bitch, just like me, and it was like we were just waiting for each other. And
was she like an elderly lady?
No, she was like maybe 35. Oh, wow. So like 5 years older than me, and had a little dog with her. So anyway, okay, so
a little dog, of course.
Oh yeah, that's funny. She did have a little dog, but the dog was like actually not that small. But she had him or her in his hand anyway. So probably I would have been meaner if she didn't have the dog. But I was looking at the dog and I was like, oh, you're lucky.
I care for you.
That dog with you. Okay, so I'm in the line. There's a person in front of me, and then there's the cashier, and then there's a guy behind me, and then this woman. The woman comes into the store and she's like, excuse me. And she goes up to the cashier that's about to help me. She's like, excuse me, I was here about half an hour ago and you double charged me for this. And she shows her the receipt and this and that and that. And then the cashier's looking at it. She's like, okay, yeah, I did or whatever. And then there's a bunch of confusion and the cashier didn't quite understand. And then she was being really rude to the cashier and she had budged. So the guy behind me then goes, after about 5 minutes of this going on, he goes, can, somebody else help her or somebody else open up another lane? Because, we've been waiting here.
Yeah.
And then I piped in and I said, yeah, you need to get in line. And she goes, excuse me? It's not my fault that she double charged me. And I had to come all the way back here and I live half an hour away and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, but that's not our problem. We've been here, standing here in line and you just swooped in.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
She did not like that. So,
I wish I was there.
Oh, she was so mad. And I was just like, yeah. And I was just like, yeah, that's not our problem. Get in line. And she was just like, get laid. That's what she said to me.
I think someone needs to get laid, and it wasn't you.
She was like, get laid. And I was like, well, I actually just had sex 3 days ago. But I mean, I was like, I'm fine. Maybe you need to get laid.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I said something like that. I'm like, I'm fine. I was like, I can't remember what I said. And then I'm like, and then she was saying something else. And then I was like, sure. And she's like, sure, bitch.
Holy
shit.
Really
ghetto. And then the guy behind me was like, whoa, 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 lady, calm down, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so then that was pretty much, oh, no. And then the cashier was dealing with her on a separate cashier, so somebody else opened up in front of us, so I went there. And then as she's walking out, or the guy behind me comes behind me as well, and he was just like, telling the other cashier, he's like, that should never happen. There should never be controversy between the customers. The cashier or the staff should have intervened and started a new lineup or helped this woman out because it didn't have to come. He's basically saying it shouldn't have to get to the point where 2 customers are arguing because
3.
Yeah, because you didn't deal with the situation accordingly, which they didn't, right? This woman wasted 7 minutes of the cashier's time.
You said there was someone in front of you. Did she pipe in at all?
Yeah, they were just finishing.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so then they were gone and then it was my turn, but then this woman was there. Yeah. So then basically I guess she got help. She got her little refund of $3.
What did she look like? Sorry, I want to visualize this.
She was she looked like me, not like me, but she was just basic clothing, a long coat, and then her hair was in a messy bun. She was obviously just having it was a Thursday night or a Wednesday night. No, yeah. It was a Sunday night. It was a Sunday night. Yeah, no, she just looked but she just, the minute she opened her mouth, you could tell she was not a happy person.
Yeah, exactly.
But, she had that dog, so I kind of felt bad for that dog.
For her to budge into you guys and not even think about you.
Well, she just walked into the store and just cut the line.
Me. I need to get my refund. And, not even thinking about the other people. That's just fucked.
Yeah. So then, as she's leaving, she's yelling at me something fucking something, really loud. And I was just like, ugh, lady, grow up. And then would she say, you grow up? And I was like, God. I'm 30. What are you, 50? And then that's when I was like, okay, Amanda, that was just not, I yelled it across the store.
No,
that was a fucking lunatic.
That was fine.
Yeah. So after I walked out of the store, it felt good in the moment. Yeah, you fucking bitch. And then I felt like a low human being. That was not one of my proudest moments.
Well, I mean,
so that was that.
I got called a bitch dog, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, that's worse than the bitch dog story. That's insane.
Oh, yeah, it was a full-on, we were, yelling at each other. And then she started swearing at me and calling me a bitch. And I didn't go to that level.
Right.
That's
But
good.
you know, she was like, get laid, and you know, and I was just like, you know, lady, grow up, like, you know, act your age. She was
The whole
pushing
thing is
40.
the whole thing the whole thing is that she butted in front of you guys, and she's not thinking about that.
Oh, but she was just not even that, though. That was bad in itself, but she was just so rude and demeaning to the cashier. She's like, you overcharged me. Like, can you see right here? Not one, but two. And then she was just the way she was talking to the cashier.
Well,
it was a combination
yeah.
of her budging and not even acknowledging that there was 5 people in line. I don't even know who was
Yeah.
behind the guy behind me. There was a
Yeah.
lineup. It was a busy time.
Because it would, for me, it would have been different if she was like that and no customers were there
Yeah.
versus customers being
Yeah.
there. Because I'm big on credibility.
Yeah.
Like if you're mad, you fucking rage, bitch.
Yeah.
Like go for it, do your thing. But the moment you start like, there's like a sort of
Exactly.
unfairness. I'm like, wait a minute. You also need to think of other people too.
Well, of course,
That
yeah.
are not a part of this. Like you have to also keep that in consideration. So, you know, that's where I kind of get,
Yeah.
that's where I get pissed, is there's that unfairness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally get
But
what
I
you
mean, the minute she walked in, you could tell she had a chip on her shoulder, and I knew that the minute someone said something to her, she was going to get super defensive. She was not going to be
Oh, yeah,
taking
you could
it,
tell
and
that.
I could tell. So she did not go down easy. She was not pleasant.
Yeah.
So
Well, like my issue was like I was called a bitch dog in London Drugs. That was fun.
bitch dog.
Long bitch dog.
Was it like a homeless person?
No, she was a First Nations, maybe in her late 40s. I was like, you probably have grandkids. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
How embarrassing.
Long story short, her till closed and she didn't get a chance to get her stuff done or scanned through. So that's why she was mad, which is understandable. But when they opened the new till, we were already there in line. And she's like, excuse me, I get to go first, right? Because this till's closed. And so she like cut through us. And I was like, okay, lady, you have like a couple items. Relax. Like this is like, you don't have to be rude. That's what I said. I was like, you don't have to be rude about this. And she was like, oh, shut up. And I don't even remember what she said. She was just like, no, you're being rude. Like they always do that. They do the mirror game. Like if I'm giving you an argument, then you just like throw it back to me. It's like,
because they don't have anything else.
Back to being 5 years old.
yeah. And then I was like, oh my gosh, you're being ridiculous. And then the manager comes and he's like, hey, is everything okay? I was like, this woman here is just being an asshole. She's being rude. and I didn't say asshole. Sorry. That sounds funny. It's so much better if I
wish you would.
I'm starting to call people assholes because it really breaks
a good word.
it breaks the sexes. Like you call like
I
you know
love
how you
that.
call women
Bitch.
bitches and guys dicks? Like call them all assholes and you realize
I call men bitches all the time, and it's actually more of an insult because not only am I calling you a woman, like I'm referring to you as like, stop being such a womany man, like a bitchy man.
And see, that's good. That's funny. But if I say that to a guy, then I'm basically offending women, saying like, oh, if you're a bitch, that means you're a woman. You know what I mean?
And then that's the
So if I say
patriarchy.
so if I say asshole, it's like neutral ground, and then it makes you wake up. You're like, oh wait, am I being an asshole? So anyway,
no,
I wish I would have said
totally
that.
unisex.
I wish I would have said it. But anyway, so she got me like rivaled up, and I swear this is what happened. I
Doesn't
was
stop touching your mic.
sorry, I moved the mic, guys. If you heard noise. So she's like shorter than me, and I lean down and I'm like, no, you're being rude. And then she's like, no, you're being rude. I'm like, no, you're being rude.
Oh my
And she's like, no, you're being rude. And I'm like, we could play this all day. You're being rude. I've worked with kids for 2 years. Thank you very much. You're being rude. And so it just kept going on, and then eventually it stopped, and the manager's like, okay, here, open a new till. So as I'm walking to the till, I'm like, you're a bitch. And then I go to the next till, and she was like, like you could just tell she was riled up.
I think you told this story in the last podcast,
Yeah.
I think, and you think you were just like you in passing as you were walking by her, you were like, bitch.
Yeah, under my breath.
And you did it really
Yeah, I was like, bitch.
nonchalant.
And
Just
so,
nobody heard you.
well, like, and so I was like,
It was only meant
"You're a
for her
bitch."
ears. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you're a bitch. And so as I go to the till, she decided to go over to my till because it wasn't done. The battle was not done. She was like, you're a bitch dog. And then she yells it out.
Love it.
And the guy's like, okay, lady, calm down. You gotta be. And then
Like
she leaves.
seriously, like security had to like escort her out.
I mean, do it
almost.
under your breath or something. Like, don't yell it out so everyone can hear you, you idiot.
Yeah,
like,
you
fuck.
psychopath.
But anyway, so that like just hearing your story. Have you ever had anything like that? Do you usually...
Have you ever called anybody a bitch dog?
I've never heard that term ever.
Oh man.
Me neither.
Neither have I. I mean, because I called her a bitch, so she was like, "Well, you're. I got to get better than that. I have to up that word, bitch dog. Like add another word to it so that it's better. Like, what are you talking? What are you doing? Like, come on. It's like if I called you like a dick, then you'd be like dick hole. Like it doesn't have any meaning.
But ever since you told me this story, I just imagine it's like bitch and then DAWG, like get it.
Yeah.
Like I don't think of DOG.
Yo,
I think
bitch
of
dog,
dog.
what's going up,
Yeah,
dog?
bitch dog.
Yeah.
Dog, like all ghetto and gangster.
Oh my gosh.
Don't bring dogs into this. No, I'm serious. Don't bring dogs into this.
Yes, please don't. I love how you treated her more kindly. I wonder how you would have reacted if she didn't have a dog in her arms. There was a reason why there was a dog in her arms, to protect her from you.
He was a good shaggy little dog too. Like he wasn't little. He was probably like a little bit smaller than Lizzie.
Yeah.
And he was shaggy and cute, and she had him in her. I guess she just picked him up as she was going in because she didn't want to put him outside.
Yeah.
Or tie him up outside, so she had him in his arms. But he wasn't like a big dog. He was like a big dog.
He's a bigger one.
Well, a bigger dog, not one that you would just like carry with you anywhere. So anyway, that was just one thing that I really noticed.
I went to Whole Foods today, actually.
Which one?
The one that you and I
Nice.
went, because I'm obsessed with the muffins that
What?
you have.
Yay!
Yeah.
Which one do you like?
Yours, the cranberry one.
The raspberry oatmeal?
Oh, I got the cranberry one.
Cranberry lemon.
Yeah, that's awkward. Well, I thought it was the one.
Raspberry oatmeal is the one I like, but
The
they're all
cranberry
good.
was really good. Well, I'm gonna get the raspberry one next.
They're all good.
I'm getting a phone call. So weird. Fuck.
No.
I'm just worried, Oh, it failed. Cool. I'm just worried it's like the health care or whatever. Anyway, sorry. And then I went, and then there was a lady who was in the bakery section.
Well, if you're going to start getting those muffins on a regular basis, get a muffin card, and then after every 10, you get one free.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Cool.
That's a good idea. For me, I was the customer, so I got to see this today. And so what happened is it was in the bakery, and disclaimer, I worked in the bakery for 4 years in Sobeys grocery store in Alberta. So like I have so much empathy for the people who work in bakeries.
Is that how long you worked there?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's so
for
weird.
4
So
years.
your first job, like me, was in a bakery of a grocery store, and I worked there for 4 years too.
Our first job was a paper route.
Paper route, and then the
Then we
bakery
did the
slash
bakery.
cake center.
Yes.
Wow.
So we had the same
So
two
weird.
jobs.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of empathy for them, right? Because I get it. I like you get tons of orders, and yet you're still baking shit like it's insane.
Yeah.
And then top it off, we're talking Whole Foods. Have you seen the
People
shit they
are
sell? Holy crap!
Yeah, and so of course, if you're going to be selling stuff like that and charging prices like that, your customers are going to be picky.
Yeah, you have to have your game up, and then you also have to make that shit. Like, making that shit, it's insane. So anyway, I get it. So this woman comes in, and so she's, I get it right away that she wants a cake. And she's not getting it. She doesn't understand how to order a fucking cake because the
You're like, there's a process, lady.
yeah, this employee is spending her time to get this cake order. She has the slip out, the pencil, she's writing everything down. And so she's like, well, like if I get this size, the half slab, which is 2 8x12. So it's like, those regular size that you see in the grocery store, they're kind of like that big, 8x12.
Okay,
They're the standard size.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So a half slab is 2 of those put together. And so she's like, so if I get this cake, I can get any size? Like, it's such a rhetorical question. It's like, of course, of course, like, it's such a silly question, of course. But so I felt like the employee was kind of playing with her and like going like, she was like spinning her around to confuse her or something, because she could have just said no. It's like, you can get any cake, but instead she was like, well, we have this type of cake and this type of cake and this type of cake, and we just give it to you, and you can just get whatever size you want. And so she was like, well, maybe I'll come back and order another cake with my husband. And I was like, oh my God, you wasted this girl's entire time.
Oh my God.
And I was there watching it all because my friend who I was having lunch with today, she was wanting to get some treats from the bakery. So we were literally waiting for like a solid 5 minutes, and this lady left. So, like that pisses me off. It's like, you want something, you come in, and then you change your mind, like not even halfway, like almost all the way through, and you're like, never mind, change my mind, and you're out. So you waste that person's time.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
really gets me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a big deal, like it wasn't an explosion of argument, but it's like a subtle, like, if you could make me, if I could punch her once, I would just, thank you, just let me do it. And then, but
No consequences.
no consequences.
Just a punch in the
if I
face
could-
to give her a wake up call.
Just a wake up call, like, boo, bitch, and then have it done like that. But
Sucker punch. Woo!
yeah, fall on the floor. Anyway, that's my pet peeve. I don't like when you waste my time. I mean, you get those drinks where they're like a list and then they're like, can I switch it? Or, never mind. That microwave story that I've told in the podcast before, I'm going to say it again. I know we're repeating some things, but since we have Celina here, I feel like I'm valid.
Filling her in.
Yeah. So this lady comes in and she gets a coffee and they're sitting down, conversation, and then she gets up and she's like, "Can I get this microwaved?" And so like obviously we're like, no, we don't do that. And so they're like, so all of us are like huddling together, like, should we do this? I don't know, like maybe she wants a new one. We could give her a new. No, we can't. This costs too much money. And then we're just going back and forth. And I'm watching this, and then so Celina, of course, she's like, we can't do that. And she's like, fine, I'll just never come back then, and walks out. I'm like, it's a fucking coffee. Are you serious? Like, why do you care to get this microwave?
Because you can't use the microwave that you don't even know that we have, that we don't advertise. Like, hey, by the way, we have a microwave in our back room. Like, you don't even know if we have a microwave.
Exactly. And I was just so pissed. And like, you get the app. You can get a free refill if you scan it. So it's like, I'm pretty sure that pretentious whore had it. Like, she definitely had it.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, it just makes me so mad. And, like, again, it's those sort of situations.
People just feel entitled, you know?
Yeah. Have you ever had that? Like, have you ever come across...
Like, people who change their mind?
Or just people who are just unreasonable.
Not even that, where you're, like, in a full... Like, you're almost done. Like, you can see the end of the tunnel with this customer, and then they pull out. Like, once... Like, all your energy is, like... It's like a bad sex date. I don't know. I don't know.
Sex date.
I do have lots of people who like, or did have lots of people who like came up and then like, oh, it's not the price. Oh, the signage. I don't know if you guys have. Do you guys have issues with like signage and pricing? Like that's a big one.
Okay, so
like,
in the bakery I worked at, it was huge all the time.
Yeah,
it's not as bad.
Yeah, stop saying the name.
Stop saying the name. Fuck you.
You've said it twice now.
Beep. Will Justin edit it?
Yeah, I will, but it's annoying.
They're aggressive about it. Help me, Celina. No, but anyway, so where I used to work, it's hard because she doesn't know, right?
I know.
I know.
Good.
She knows.
She knows.
One time I asked Justin where he always was on Snapchat map, and he's like, "Oh, I'm at blank where Dustin works."
So true. That's funny.
But the signage there's like mint condition, like they have pretty signs, everything's organized. But what about your sign story?
There's so many sign stories, but when you go into any retailer, it's like prices from $19.99 or like selected styles. So like some things on the rack will be like $5, some will be $40. Like it's pretty whatever. It's like misleading, but it's not illegal. It's not like and some like people will always argue it. Like one lady was like, "I'm a lawyer." Like fuck you. That's not even like I don't know, but like so lots of people will like
I'm pregnant.
they'll have this like pile of that was another one that annoyed me, but I'll get to that later. But they would have like piles of clothes and like we would scan it in and they're like looking intensely at the screen and they're like, oh, but like they weren't mean about it, but they were just like, like, oh my god, I'm sorry, I don't want it. Like just like not rude, but like just like
dramatic.
Yes, dramatic.
They're like head tilted, hand against the wall. Like,
I
can't do this.
I simply cannot afford the extra $10.
No, there's like a fan blowing in the background with their hair blowing in the wind. Just what are you doing?
That's a good one. That's so much of that. And also when people would buy like a lot of clothes, like just like it took forever. Oh, I have a funny one. Okay, so at H&M we did, because there's lots of filming in Vancouver, right? So there's lots of stylists shopping around for different things. Yeah. So whenever a stylist would come in, they're usually pretty nice, but some of them are just terrible.
Really?
But they'll come with like ponies or donkeys. They're just those wheelie things we call them.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about actual animals. Like what?
No.
But yeah,
that would be awesome.
The rolly things to the cash, and we like as soon as you see it, you're like, oh fuck, and it would take about 20, maybe not 20 minutes, but like it would take a long time to process it.
Wait, so this person would come in with like a lot of clothes. You knew who this person was? 'Cause she did it so often.
Generally, no. It's different people because there's lots of stylists, but usually like they know what they want. They have like racks of stuff.
So they do that, hey? So for films, they'll just go into H&M and
they return most of it too. because
my
they like have
God.
yeah. It's
Well,
really
no
annoying.
way.
Well,
Oh
because
yeah.
they only need it for like
Yeah.
that one thing.
And I think now we changed
my
the policy where like they have to keep 25% of it, but
That's so wrong. Yeah.
Wow.
Like,
but yeah, they return the rest.
they abuse that. That's like a really shitty thing to do. You think they would like donate it to like homeless shelters or some shit? Like
No,
not
they
just
return it.
we have that's fucked.
Wow.
I don't like that at all.
it's all about money.
But one time this lady came up to the till with like a whole like shit ton of clothes. And I'm like, oh, are you a stylist? And she's like, actually, I'm a costumer. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then like she proceeded. She's like, do you know the difference? And I'm like, no.
I didn't care to know.
And then she's like, well, a costumer, like, I
God.
forgot what it was. Actually,
Well,
I'm glad you forgot because
I don't
if you
even
were
know
like
the punchline.
honestly, I'm not like if someone were to describe me what a costumer was, I would be like, I don't remember what you said 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious that she
And
explained.
then she was
it
like
to
kind
me.
of like talking down to stylists too, and I'm like, dude, you have the same job. Like, yeah, from what like she told me, like it's not any different.
I feel like
no
if-
disrespect to people in that industry, but come on, no,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. It's the same fucking thing.
I feel like if you're one
Yeah.
to make clothing, that's better, I guess, but not to like a costumer. Is that you just like
She got so
building?
bent out of shape.
Oh, she was.
Stylist, costume.
Yeah,
She was,
and
like-
she wasn't rude again. She was like, it's just like the way she.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't care, like
Yeah.
lady.
But then she
I make
proceeds-
$10
then
an
she
hour.
proceeds to
Like,
put down. Then she proceeds to put down people who are stylists. It's like,
and it's the same job.
Yeah, you could see that attitude.
well, there are some interesting people out there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Very interesting people.
Bitch dog.
Bitch dog.
I would love to get T-shirts printed out that say "bitch dog."
yes, please.
I've been calling Lizzie Mouse Dog.
Aw.
She's my mouse dog.
Because you're the little mouse.
She's the mouse.
Because you're the mouse.
You're the mouse.
No, she's the. Oh right, I'm the mouse. Oh right.
So if you follow our Instagram, Celina, we have a picture that shows Amanda, and she literally looks like a fucking ghost. It is so terrifying, and her face is piercing through the
if
night.
you've listened to our podcast,
I listened to the first episode. I want to see the picture.
the first
though.
episode.
Oh yeah,
freaking
you
sucked.
follow our.
do.
But yeah,
yeah.
we've told the story, and yeah,
What is it?
Mouse Child.
yeah,
Yeah.
Anyway, so
It's
yeah, I've
really
been
funny.
calling her Mouse Dog.
that's so cute.
I
What,
know.
is that a new
There's
thing?
my little mousey.
How's she
well,
doing?
I've been calling her Mousy forever, and then
This one?
A poo.
No.
no, it's a picture of the three of us.
I think it's the second picture.
Yeah, so you can kind of
Now-
see me in the back. I'm not even supposed to be in the picture,
That's what makes
but
it
I'm
so
like
funny.
on a
though.
mission.
That's-
doing
You're on a
something.
mission.
Yeah, that's a funny picture.
Yeah, all three of us don't look like ourselves. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, we all look different in
We
there.
all look different.
Justin looks like this like macho bodybuilder. I look like a fucking. What do I
Clearly.
look like? I look.
You
just
look like
ins-
Jesus Christ in a ball cap.
Yeah. And then Amanda looks like I rose her from the dead.
I am the punchline of that photo. I am the
you are.
punchline of that photo for sure.
Oh, that would have been a good like caption for that video or that picture. Justin the bodybuilder
Ghost
with
mouse.
Jesus who rose Amanda from the dead.
I think I'll just like post it a second time just for fun.
Oh.
Just to
Ghost.
caption
Oh yeah,
it.
perfect. Thank you.
You're
Put that
welcome.
out there more. That's great.
The sign thing though that you were talking about, I swear to God, I can't deal with it
Yeah.
because I had a coffee shop in the bakery, and so we had a till. And even that was ridiculous. Like someone would come up with a bag of coffee, they'd be like, this is not in the right spot. I'd be like, oh wow, you should have read it. the
Oh wow,
sign."
you should really go get a life or get some hobbies or I don't know, have a child and
And in their defense, I have been on the other side. I've done that before, but I've only done that, and I'd be like, oh, just if you could change the sign, and then I'm out. Like I actually don't care. I'm like, okay, I'll pay for the regular price. If it's really that much.
you know why
I'll pay
you
for
don't
it.
care? Because you have a life. Because you're a normal human being who has other things to think about. Like
Well,
a nitpick on a sign.
It's just I think people respond better if you're just like, oh yeah, cool, I'll
Yeah.
buy it.
Well, of course,
if
yeah.
Just make sure to change the sign for the next person. People are more receptive. Am I saying that right?
Yeah,
They're more
receptive,
receptive
yeah.
to that. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe I should do that.
But that's with everything. Like with both of your stories, like with yours at London Drugs, if she just would have been like, "Oh, hey, like I see that he just opened up a till. I've been waiting. Do you mind if I just like go through?" Like you
Yeah.
probably would have
On
been like,
instantly.
"Yeah, sure." And
Yeah, because then I would have been the
course.
asshole.
yeah, and then if that lady would have been like, "Oh, hey, I'm so sorry. I just got double charged. Do you mind if I just quickly like fix this? I live like pretty far away, so I'll just,
Exactly.
like you know what I mean? Like it's all about
It's all
like,
about
yeah.
attitude and perspective. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
you seem like a pretty chill person, and I feel like you're really good at like
Yeah.
delegating through that.
See, Dustin and I, we're not. What's the
We're-
word? Reasonable human beings.
Aggressive with the capital A.
Yes. yes.
Yeah, of course I'm like terrible and degenerate, but like it's just,
No,
like,
you're not. I can already
so
tell.
not.
no, like to succeed and like you just have to be very
Absolutely.
like very reasonable, very like not fake but kind of fake. Like you just have to be like nice to people.
Exactly. And it's all about like treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
and
know?
and it gets hard too when you deal with a customer who is an asshole, because it's like you just want so badly to give it back to them.
Yeah.
And then when you do,
Sometimes if they swear at you, you can absolutely like definitely
sure.
like that's to the point. If they're like
Right.
actually being, I don't like using the word abuse, but if they're being like verbally abusive, like yeah, for sure, say
Yeah.
something. And,
I
like,
also think it has to do, though, I think I've mentioned this before, with exposure and how long you've been putting up with this. Like, I feel like I've been putting up with assholes forever.
long
And
time.
so now
are you
when
at your breaking point?
well, yeah, like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm like 31. I've been in
you're a grown ass fucking adult. Be
customer
treated
service
like
for a
that.
long time. Yeah. And I feel like I had that, you know, first 2 years where I was like, you know, you let people walk all over you a little bit, you know.
Yeah, because you have to.
Yeah,
make it up.
exactly. But now it's to the point where just because I have an apron on and I'm behind the counter doesn't mean you can treat me like I'm any less of a human being.
Right.
So I just have I have a harder time putting up with it.
It does get harder, and then you just start to like resent everyone and realize like how shitty most of the world is, and like everyone's so mean.
Yeah.
The good thing about the job that Dustin had and the job where I'm at now is that we have great customers and we have a lot of really good regulars, and I love them all. And so these people
yeah.
that come in and who aren't as pleasant, you know, they don't get to me, but at the same time, I'm
Yeah.
not going to let them walk all over
Yeah,
me
and
or my fellow employees.
Sometimes I think if you're having a bad day on top of like
Yes.
if I had a really one time I went on a really nice date and then I came into H&M and then I gave really good customer service and like then she like went to a manager about me and I got like a gift card.
Nice.
Sometimes like, you know, whatever, like fuck, had a shitty day for some reason, then you just like want to pick a fight. Like you're just mean and
It's
you're
all
looking
subjective.
Yeah, you're almost just looking at me like,
yeah.
come at me, just try me.
Yeah.
So it depends
I
where
dare
your
you.
mind's at and where your head's at kind of before you start your shift. Like if you're having a good day and like, you know, good people are working, that's another thing. If you have like shitty coworkers working, not that I was friends with most of them, but like if you don't have like your core people there, like it's kind of hard to
It
come
is,
out.
yeah. And we had a really good core group of people, but because everyone's moving along and,
Yeah.
and going to different places,
Yeah.
you know, that's getting smaller. And you know, what's going back to our regulars at the place that that Amanda worked. It's so hard not to say it. You know, we have. I could name at the top of my head. I mean, Justin can. What's the word? You can. It's like. Anyway, vouch. Justin can vouch for me because I've talked to him about all the customers that I like. I could name like maybe 15, 20 at the top of my head.
Wow.
That I really like. I just appreciate so much. But then you get like 300 customers that are just nightmares. Like because some of them are different, some of them are regulars. Overall, they're all different. But because of those 20 people, it makes it worth it. It really does, because then you remember like, oh yeah, I am a good human being, and these people that are doing this to me, it has to do with them. It has nothing to do with me. Even if I'm even if I'm like quiet and like not responding to the degree that person wants, and that's why they're mad. Like it's just none of that matters. It's all
projection.
Yeah. And that's
so true.
That's something that really I've been learning a lot lately. Not just because of career, but personal reasons too. Like projection is such a huge factor in customer service. It's because like they're projecting all of their hatred and their fears and everything. Like you really think about it, like because you did the call center, like if they're calling you, everything that they have been feeling at that moment is going right directly into you. If they're mad or if they're angry. And if you're lucky, if people decide, sometimes people reverse it and make it more of a positive thing, which I wish more people would do. But they don't. Obviously.
It's easier to be an asshole on the phone too, because like you're in a private place, no one's gonna see you be an asshole. So.
Exactly. I like to be persuasive. Like I like to be like kind of aggressive persuasive. If I'm on the phone, I'll be like, oh, but what about this or that? Yeah. But I can't get to that level because then I feel shitty.
Sometimes I do get like very frustrated on I'm frustrated. I'm not I hope I'm not projecting it onto the customer service agent, but like sometimes, you know, like you've just like been on hold. Like it is very like just calling things. Ugh.
You just have to have deep breaths. Do you have a stress ball? I see a lot of like those callers, like you see it in the movies, right? They're like on call with the customer, squishy little ball. I don't know.
I don't know what I did. I think I was just like on Facebook or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or like looking for other jobs.
That keeps you going.
Probably like helping my resume or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can actually remember a moment where I was yelling at someone. But I wasn't. It was my landlord, actually, my recent landlord.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was insane. Our shower, actually, I guess I can share this with you if you haven't noticed. Our shower head is broken.
Yeah,
like, there's
no, I did
water.
notice.
It's
I
like
did.
like you see like that classic scene in a movie where you know that they're poor. They're like walking through their dingy apartment. They turn on the shower, the water's spraying everywhere, shower head, and they're like, "Oh, my life's terrible." That's what our shower head is right now.
It's insane.
It's gross. And so anyway, like maybe 2 months back, the shower head was like literally dribbling water. There was no pressure, and so I called him and I was like, "Hey, is there a time you can fix this? We have no water coming out of our shower." And this guy just had the gall to be like, "Oh, well, you need to talk to Michelle, and then she needs to call me."
Is that like the person whose name is in the lease or whatever?
It is,
okay.
and I understand that too.
That's ridiculous. You're paying rent there just like her.
Yeah. I knew that coming into the call too. It's shitty, right? Because you can't do anything. But it was like I was so frustrated with it, and our roommate hadn't called yet, and she knew just as much as I did, and I was getting so frustrated with her, and so I just decided to call, and I called him, and he said that, and I was like, "Hey, I get that, but could you at least just come and look at this today?" And then he's like, "Maybe in the next couple of days." And I also forgot, that was actually the first part of the conversation. And then he went to, actually, you need to talk to Michelle.
Okay.
So he was just using it as is that a scapegoat? Is that the right word? Or a straw man? He was straw manning. So he was trying to use that as a distraction to get out of the conversation. And I was like, "No, you need to come here, please." And then he hung up on me. Because I was just getting so mad. I was yelling at him. I was like, we can't live in a place where there's no shower.
Yeah, this is our
like, what are you
shower.
doing? Like, you can't do this. And I feel like this is like some sort of like wrongdoing. You can't just come in here and check the shower head and then maybe get someone to come and fix it. Like, this is ridiculous. And I was yelling at him, and then he hung up on me. And then I called him again. I was like, "How dare you hang up on me?" I was like,
he left a message.
I left him a message. I was like, "You need to understand that this is so inappropriate and unprofessional on your hand.
Good for you, Dustin.
You have no right to hang up on me. There is no water coming out of that shower head. I have no way to clean my fucking body. If you do not pick up, then there's going to be some serious issues." And then I hung up. Justin can vouch. I said like almost all of that.
No,
to
it was glorious.
I was so angry. Like, I just couldn't believe
my
that.
God.
Like,
No, I would have done the same thing.
he was a nice landlord too when I first
really?
met him, and then it just like that was like the breaking point. It's like, you couldn't have just fucking half an hour of your day to come and see and like get someone to come fix it.
Well,
And that's
also,
the thing. If you're going to be a landlord, you need to expect things like that.
Yeah,
That's all
like,
part of
that's
being
your
a landlord.
job.
That's your job. That's your responsibility. If things
Like,
break,
I'm telling you, Amanda, if you and I were landlords, like, I would be on top of the shit like every day. I would get like if I were rich enough when in it, I would probably get like a assistant and then me. And then every time I'd hear something, I get my assistant, and then if I got another phone call, I would go. Like, I would be on top of that shit. Like,
Wow, you're going to be very rich and important with all your properties.
well, I'm going to be so magnificent,
Wow.
king of all land.
So, Justin, what's happening with you? Anything new with work or?
Okay.
He's thinking of quitting
okay.
again.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, it's really bad.
What? Like
there's-
our job? Or?
Oh my God, yes. I was texting
Okay.
you the
Oh,
other
it's
day.
so bad, and I don't
What?
even work there.
There,
What?
No,
The
I-
cockroach?
Yeah, there are
Am I
cockroaches.
allowed to say that?
Yeah, it's okay.
That's so fucking
It's so fucking gross. Like, in a restaurant, it's kind of normal.
Yeah.
It's kind of normal to
Yeah.
have. Well, it's
It is. I've seen rats and stuff. In
it's normal to
restaurants.
have it's normal to have mice.
Mice, yeah.
Rats are fucking gross.
I don't
but
know, yes.
Because
cockroaches-
rats carry diseases. Mice, I don't think, are as susceptible to
know.
diseases.
I don't
Rats are like,
Do we have them, Just?
I don't know if we have rats, but we have mice
my
and we
God.
have cockroaches. No, Celina. Oh my God.
if you have rats, then like that's the fucking Black Plague all over again. Started out the park restaurant.
No, you
Black
can't
No, you
Plague.
can't say that.
Justin, no.
Don't Don't shame me.
The disappointment in Amanda's voice.
Oh, look at her. She looks like the statue of David, except her hand is on her forehead. She's just like disappointed.
Wait, so what's happening?
Okay,
what's
but
happening at the place?
They're everywhere. I'm serious. I'm not joking, you guys.
And it's a hotel too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. Could you imagine?
It's guys. Oh
Come
my
to our
God.
hotel and cozy up with the rats.
It's so fucking unprofessional. I know a couple episodes ago I was bitching about my manager.
Oh, bitch dog. That's her
one?
name.
Is that her name?
Yeah, we in the text.
You know what? I'm just gonna say her name. It's Heidi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's
AKA
the
bitch
morning,
dog.
AKA
DAWG.
I don't work with her. She has crazy eyes, but she's nice to me.
Yeah.
She has crazy eyes. That
Or
explains a lot.
DOWG.
She does have. I think she has crazy eyes.
I think so.
But she's a nice lady.
Bitch dog.
She-
DOWG
see-
or
I guess.
DAWG.
I actually we had this Oscar party
Okay, yeah.
about a week ago.
Where was my fucking invite?
Okay, fuck you.
What party did we have?
No, it was at my restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah, calm your fucking shorts, Amanda.
All right.
And so Heidi needed help like setting up and stuff, like
probably
making
wouldn't have
making like gift baskets and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And so can you shut the fuck up? I'm telling you a fucking
I'm
story.
sorry. I'm having a
You're
friend moment.
so rude, Justin.
I'm an
This is what
asshole.
happens when we have 4 people on the podcast, I guess.
Oh, it's getting hot in here too.
It is. Oh my God, we're at 50 minutes. It's okay. We can go over.
How long is it supposed to be? An hour?
Usually
About
it's
an hour,
45 to an hour.
usually.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
No,
I'm kidding. I mean, like, tell your side, tell your story.
We
and then
always interrupt Justin
I know.
every
You
You
episode.
guys
have to
are the
stop.
fucking worst. I'm not even
stand up
joking.
for yourself, Justin. Talk
Be a
over
man.
us.
I don't interrupt people. It's
I know, it's
You're
so
a good
difficult
person.
for me.
You're a
Okay, you
kind
have the
person.
floor.
Okay,
Shut
give
the fuck
me the
up,
floor.
Justin. Seriously.
So me and Heidi, in order for her to like convince me to help her set up for this Oscar party, she gave me free alcohol
What?
while we were on fucking shift.
They're drinking.
It's
And we've fired people for drinking before. Just
exactly.
Yeah, so-
And
I
this
was-
is the manager that you've had issues with.
yeah, this
Okay.
is the one that I've had issues with.
Okay.
And
Amanda's like,
it's
"Ooh,
funny.
more ammo."
It's funny because we had like a staff meeting a couple days before, and that's like the one thing that they said. They're like, don't come to work stoned and don't come to work drunk. And so she just gives me fucking alcohol. Anyways, so, and you know that once you have alcohol, you loosen up and you can.
Oh, I know
polish
you
more-
when you drink. Oh my, you're wow.
Was she more
Yeah.
pleasant after having a couple drinks?
Yeah,
Justin?
she was, but also I think I was like, oh, she's not so bad. Like we could be
Lucy,
friends.
Lucy.
Yeah.
Well, you heard the story about the joint, right? About how he smoked a joint with his coworker who he wasn't getting along with, and
I
they
don't know
were
if I
friends
told
after
you
that.
about it.
Anyway,
Oh, wait, who? What?
basically what Justin does is he drinks and smokes pot, and then he gets along with people.
And then I just get along with people. Yeah.
Anyway, carry on, Justin.
But anyways,
Misinterrupting.
Sorry.
You can tell me about that after. I want to know who that was.
yeah. Well, I told it on the podcast, but I don't really want to say the name.
Just tell me. I
because
said tell me
will.
after.
I will
After.
tell you the story.
Okay, sorry. Go on.
So basically, now she thinks that we're like good friends,
Oh.
and it's really fucking
Best
awkward
of
because
friends.
we were in a good place of like not liking each
Typical
other.
bitch dog.
Because I refused to work a shift. I don't know if I told you or not, but I refused to work a shift because it wasn't serving and didn't have anything to do with my job. It was like maintenance. I was like, dude, that's not my job. I'm not doing that. Yeah, basically, she was gonna pay me a maintenance wage to like I don't know. I told the story on the podcast already. So yeah, she thinks that we're best friends now, and so now it's gonna be even harder to quit because yeah, she's gonna be crushed. And for some reason, I care. I think it's because I've been there for over a year and a half, and it's starting to feel like family. And
Well, if you
I
don't
think
want,
when
if you don't
someone-
want to quit, then don't quit.
no, I do.
I think
you do?
when
Oh, I do.
I think a tactic for people, some people, is when someone opens up to you the way that she does or anyone does, you immediately will begin to empathize, even if you don't want to. It's kind of
Yeah.
like you can't help but sort of
Very manipulative.
reflect
For sure.
and sort of empathize, and that's a very strong tactic that people use. That you kind of have to like be okay. Do I want to go into this path with this person or not? And you're such a caring person. I feel like she just sees how susceptible you are to.
I think you're right.
I don't know, but
Fuck.
that's my way of seeing it.
Yeah.
I mean, if Amanda and I were hearing this, we'd be like, "Bitch, shut up! Like, stop!
Yeah.
Let's fucking do
I
our
know.
job! Like, come on!"
Don't give me that alcohol.
I mean, Amanda's good at listening but not caring when it comes to that stuff, and I'm more like, no, I'm not even going to do the whole
That's
thing.
actually really true.
Like,
Yeah.
you have a skill that I can't have, and I envy it.
Which is what?
You're good at listening and then just being, and kind of like shutting your brain off and doing the work. I can't. I have to like do one thing or the other. I'm like, bitch, I'm not. We're doing this or talking. We can't do both. But anyway, sorry, again, interrupting.
No, it's all good. That's it.
Okay.
Before we end the podcast, I really, 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 really want to ask Celina about her Instagram account.
No.
Yes.
Me and Dustin and Amanda, we got high at Amanda's house, and then we found the Instagram account, and we just fell fucking in love with it.
Oh yeah, I think we looked at it briefly.
Do you remember?
Yeah. So basically, what do? You pose. Well, yeah. No. Tell us the concept of what you do on your Instagram account.
Okay, so this one guy followed my normal Instagram account once.
Okay.
I feel kind of bad because I think he's like maybe a bit like mentally off.
Oh no.
I mean, like the rest of the world.
Yeah.
No, but, like actually like mental maybe like he looks fucked.
Oh my god.
Dude.
But so he has like these pictures where he's like I thought he was a troll at one point, but I really think he's just like mental. I'll show you the Instagram account after, but he just like stands really awkwardly and posts like increments of 3. He'll like stand with a tree just like with his arms like at an awkward length. Like he just looked so awkward. And one time he made a video of him at the conservatory, the butterfly place, and he was like waving, but like just had like the crazy eyes and the smile like hi.
Oh yeah.
He just like so this guy followed me on Instagram and then direct messaged me and said hi, and then I said hi back because like I like trolls. I thought he was a troll, but I don't think he is a troll. And then I'm like, this is so funny. Like I want to do this. So then I just like decided, okay, I'm gonna just like post awkward pictures of me. And I hate having my picture taken seriously anyway. So it was like perfect because I take shitty pictures all the time. So I started posting pictures of just me being awkward in increments of 3, and they all have to be like related to one another or in the same like.
Very artistic.
It's really stupid.
No, it's
I just have to say,
beautiful.
what was your for the listeners, if we have any? you could say
We have 2 for sure that I know of.
What's your Instagram?
It's called Nice Cool Girl, both GURL.
There you go. Girl with GU.
Because normal girl was taken.
Oh, really?
Because what you're doing is so normal.
I have to say your Instagram is really great. It's very
cool.
creative.
Very artistic.
Your pictures, you get that awkward vibe, and it's like so good. But the pictures are really good. Like
I'll have to check it out. I don't.
They're like I don't even know. Composition-wise, they're really good.
No, but really.
God. And I don't know if you did it on purpose or you actually just don't even know that you have a gift.
So do you have quite a following, Celina?
No, I don't. It's just my friends who follow me. I have some, those spam Instagram accounts that follow me. And then like random, like this is bad. I like hashtag my things like blessed and just like really trolling, like oh, so fortunate, or like, oh, like girls night, like just like shit like that. Like really like things that people do all the time, but I think it's like terrible. And I do that and I get followers from hashtagging things.
Nice. But I have no idea how any of that stuff works.
It's just a connect. It's just a way to connect to more people. The more you hashtag, those are like you have like hashtag plates. So if people are looking for plates, like pictures with plates because they want to, they'll come across that.
And then I've
always wondered what all that was about. Like some people will have pictures, and then there's like underneath the picture there's hashtags that are like paragraphs long, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I never thought to ask what it meant. And now I've finally found out.
I have a Seattle Seahawks shirt that I wore in like one picture. So I tagged my like, Seahawks, like I go Seahawks. And then like a bunch of football people.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of them unfollow me, but like it's just funny that like it's just funny.
That's so funny.
They like it and then they follow you and they're like, oh wait, what's all this? And you're just like, no, this isn't my style.
I kind of want to link that to my Tinder account. I think that would be funny. But then I'm scared people will think it's real. But like I feel like I need a husband who can like manage that kind of like shit from me.
I think it's such a real thing, and I think people will connect to that because a lot of like, and from what I get from what I find attractive about people is vulnerability, and when you open yourself to just show how fucking stupid something is, a lot of people like that. They they can relate to that because a lot of people don't want to see like hashtag makeup today and it's like a real person doing that. But when someone like makes it satirical, it makes it so much better and rewarding. So I love what you're doing. Keep doing it. Seriously.
And how often do you post?
haven't. I was in Asia a couple weeks ago, so that was like my last posting. But whenever I get ideas or like someone takes my pictures, but maybe like it's not very either like once every like twice a week or like once every couple of months. It's not like
so it's kind of like a creative outlet. Yeah. And who normally takes the pictures?
My roommate.
Have you ever asked just random people?
No.
Okay.
So I was gonna say kudos to your roommate. I mean, like she needs to be on spot every time. Like
nice.
Yeah. When I was traveling, I got like the friends who I met to take them. I actually didn't tell them what it was for. I just said, take 3 bad pictures of me. Yeah. Who else have I gotten? I got my mom to take them, but I don't tell my mom a lot about my life. Like I don't tell her like. So I just told her, Mommy, like, because she loves taking my pictures. So I'm like, oh, can you take some with my phone? So like I was in like whenever we do things together. And she wants to take my picture. I'm like, ugh, fine. Like, just take 3 of them, Mom. Who else takes them?
3 of them. Only 3, no more.
Well, I get more than 3, but there has to be like 3 that are kind of different.
Yeah.
I've done self timer. The whole point is like to not take selfies, but if you do a self timer, like it's not really a selfie.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
I've done self timers when I'm like really bored and like no one's talking to me. Like I'll just like, oh, maybe I'll post on Nice Cool Girl or something.
Okay,
cool.
Interesting.
Well, I think that's a wrap then. Thank you so much,
Thanks
Celina.
so much for coming in.
We really appreciate our first guest, Celina. And again, like whoever's listening, go to her Instagram.
No. Yes. I wanted to get
have a great fucking day.
Bye.
Bye.